indoctrinated with those ideas. So when I started working there in 2009, I was like, I got a classroom I want. I got like I had a whole corner, had a red, black, and green flag up before my door. The game came through. And I would educate the kids. And the kids would be like, oh, Jim, I never heard of any of these ideas before. And I'm like, well, watch. I bet you in a couple years, Germantown will probably be on the chopping block. And what happened? A couple years later, Germantown was on the chopping block. In its 99th year, we won't even allow it to get to the 100th year. In the 99th year, they closed this school. Not only did they close the school with little warning, we get warning in February and May, our principal leaves. She retires. So not only that, we're in a state of flux, and then half the staff learned that we actually were laid off from the school district of Philadelphia at the same time. And that was a hard time. And I'm real glad the Gunner brought up the fact there is no other high school around here. They're shoving all our kids in Martin Luther King High School. West East Oak Lane. West Oak Lane. So like when we talk about that, if you consolidate all that and then kids left. I remember when the school closed, one of my best, brightest students, much more brilliant than I am, said to me, I'm not going to go to King. And he ended up dropping out of high school in 11th grade. And I'm telling you, this brother was brilliant. And see, this is what the system does. This is, if we allow this to happen, it slowly takes our kids out by attrition. They don't even need to do anything. Real for real, all they got to do is look the wrong way. All they got to do is, engage in acting like a kid, and somehow they're a threat. Somehow they need to be controlled. Somehow you need to make sure that this does not happen. And that sucks the life out of our kids, and they know it. They walk around here, they'll be like, what's the point of that? You know, King got shot, you know what I mean? Malcolm, they don't even really know. So like, when we point to the examples that our students need to see this example. Being out here in the street together, being determined to call out the system as it is, not what we wish it is, and not what it should be, but what it is. And once we do that and we start to get organized and understand all these ideas together and get to a certain level of consciousness, we can actually start talking about moving in the right direction where this situation does not happen. Because all the kids that were going here became displaced. This investment of our communities is not on accident. It's manufactured products, and it's always been this way. And I think we need to stop lying to ourselves and say that this is an anomaly, or that Trump came out of nowhere. No, this is America, and this is what America has become. With all that being said, when we look and think about education, what is the education that our children are getting? Right? I can put a textbook in front of a child that perpetuates the lies of Eurocentric dominance, right? Colonialism, slavery, never even touch alcohol, right? But we talk about controlling the narrative that our students and our children need to learn. And white, black, yellow, purple with pink polka dots. Everybody needs to learn that this society is based off of racialized exploitation. Was then, is now, and white supremacy is used to prop that up. And it's as simple as that. You know, that's why racism is no zero-sum game. You know what I mean? Racism is a one-way street. And this society, racism isn't just somebody coming up to you and be like, oh, throwing racial slurs at you. Racism is the fact that Germantown High School is closed right now. It's the reason why when the school got locked down a couple times because shootings outside, I saw the fear of my students' eyes. Students who you would think would never be afraid of something. And then they would go on and talk about, oh, my cousin got shot. Down the street, my uncle got shot. My dad is in prison. Right? And I had to tell them, this is how the system is supposed to work. Now, what you going to do about it? And that's the reality of the situation. Nobody takes our children to the side to actually explain to them the gravity of the situation and the context in which we exist in today. And that's real. That's like operating on a car engine and you've never even seen the engine before. Shoot, you don't even know what a car looks like. But that's what we're doing to our kids. When we tell them to get a high school diploma, check off boxes, go to college or go to trade school with no explanation about what it means for you right now in this moment. And this moment will slip away if we don't take advantage of it now. History has taught us that they'll throw out a couple things to release the pressure gauge so it doesn't explode, right? And if we don't take advantage of that and make the pressure explode before they release it, we might have to wait for another moment in time. And these moments don't come on too often, y'all, for real, for real. So I encourage everybody, not only be sure to recognize how the racist structure in Philadelphia, democratically controlled black misleadership city, right? The relationship of that with white supremacy. And then the relationship of what our kids know and don't know with white supremacy. And then the relationship to your identity, how you see yourself, how you see others, how you view and assume the assumptions in which detail our existence and our perspective. You have to do that also. And connect all those ideas together. And when you do that, you recognize right now we need to do what needs to be done. So I was going to say right here, without deconstructing what exists today and how it exists and breaking down to folks so they can understand, we'll just be like a hamster in a wheel, round and round. And remember, what they say, in the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again. We need to learn from these lessons, y'all. And when we look back, we can pull back, Sankofa style, and then engage in Kuji Shakalia. Thank you, y'all.
Down with white supremacy, up with love and humanity. Down with white supremacy, up with love and humanity. Down with white supremacy, up with love and humanity. Down with white supremacy, up with love and humanity.
Down with white supremacy,
up with love and humanity.
white supremacy, up with love and humanity.
I feel like we need to call in the ancestors, y'all.
Oh, yes.
I feel like we need to call in the elders.
Yes.
Because the work that we're doing is not new. The work that we are doing is not new. We are standing on the shoulders of people who have experienced the worst atrocities of white supremacy. We are standing on the shoulders of people who rebelled against slavery, people who rebelled against the early days of mass incarceration. And so we owe them. My family is from Germantown. My family has been in Germantown since the 1700s. My grandmother and all 8 of her sisters graduated from Germantown High School. And I'm glad she's not here to see what has become of not just her school, but her neighborhood. I think she would be shocked to know the things that are going on today. And so when we're out here fighting, we have to remember that we're fighting to avenge the ancestors who experienced the worst things that this society has to offer. So I want us to, take a moment to just recognize those people who are not here as we move toward our next speaker. Just one moment, y'all. So our next speaker is someone we want to pay close attention to. He is an elder, a graduate of the mighty Germantown Bears, a member of the Germantown High School Alumni Association. So we're going to bring on Mr. James McKelvey. And we're also going to bring on Mrs. Vera Primus as well.
First of all, I'm Jim McKelvey. I'm the chairman of the Germantown Alumni Association. I'm accompanied by my president, Vera Primus, who is the president of the Germantown Alumni Association. And I'm excited to be here this evening. First of all, I applaud all of you for coming out for more than just the obvious reason. The fight that you do on a proactive level determines what comes on the back end. Let me give you a prime example. I met with the president, the outgoing president, in 2013. Germantown was on the most dangerous list as far as high schools. She worked diligently to get Germantown removed from that list. Yeah, give us some props. Yeah. You remember? In doing that, when the city came out, the school district came out with the announcement of schools to be closed, Germantown was not on the list. I sat with her in the auditorium when they announced the school. Germantown was not on the list. 2 weeks later, some team in the school district reorganized the school and hit from the mud based on political, based on individuals like themselves to come out and fight. Germantown got put on the list and Furness got off the list. How is that possible? So when I met with the principal, me and the president of Alumni Association said, how is that? So now you love this piece. As we fought diligently to get Germantown off the list, the school district said, give us a proposal and a reason why you should be removed. Okay. Nothing to us. We put together a proposal to show how Germantown would absorb Hitler.
Roosevelt, we were going to make the school. Roosevelt proposing in the building. School had child care centers for the mothers and mothers in the school had somewhere to take their children. We had the Philadelphia College of Textiles put a drawing and an architectural plan together for us. We were going to make this building a community with hospitality and tourism. We were going to take the auditorium and make it a community auditorium for people to be able to rent out the theater. We were going to make a boutique hotel in the back. We were going to have an educational center that specialized in hospitality and tourism. We also were going to take the schoolyard and we were going to make it a ground for restaurants where we were going to have a restaurant. We had PNC Bank lined up to come into the building. We had other companies lined up to come into the building where the building was going to generate income for the school. It was a way for the kids to learn. We had a gentleman from the tourism board in Philadelphia, or one of our boards, that was one of our board members. We had a black young man who owned his own hotels and hospitality and tourism. In honor, he was putting in hotels. We had a strong board. We sat and put together the proposal for the charter school. We worked hard. The only thing is we didn't have the community support that we needed to get this done, because everyone didn't come out when we needed people to come out and fight for the cause that we were fighting for. If the people had came out and if we had went from that traffic light to this traffic light, we would have made an impact and they would not have moved. But because we didn't have the help and the support that we need, when you got and I'm fighting for something, we're not going to win. So it broke our heart. We worked hard. These kids worked hard. We cried. A lot of you might not know about 400 million children at Germantown were homeless. Mrs. Mullen, who was the last president, Mrs. Mullen got up every day and walked out of her office down here to Germantown Avenue with the kids, got them on the bus, told them how much she loved them. These kids had improved. We had an office in the building. We worked hard. But what messed us up, the community didn't show up, the school district was a mess, and they took all the money and put it in the community that they wanted to put it in. And if you don't know, Germantown High School, third part of high school. The King was open, it was called Germantown King. We were King. So without Germantown, there would not have been a King. We also had something to do with white law, because white law was our history is strong, our action is strong. But if we had the support, we would have done it. So what's going on today is good. If the community don't come together, y'all are not going to do anything. because we have been fighting this, and to this day, we're still meeting and we're still fighting. When this building went up for $100 million, why couldn't we raise the money for the community to buy the building? So, you know, I get passionate. I'm going to give it back to you.
So what we're saying, thank you, brother. I'll give my hand of applause. What we're saying is, love the energy, continue doing what you're doing. The fight you put on the front end determines the result on the back end. Let that be a lesson to history we gave you while these doors are closed. Okay, we didn't fight hard enough, but that doesn't mean we don't fight hard now. We learn from our mistakes. We get stronger with our mistakes. So I love all this. Continue to fight. Continue to stand strong. Black lives do matter, and equal rights for everyone.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We appreciate all the work that you have been doing. I know the work that you've been doing, and that description, I mean, who would want to go to that high school? And how would somebody even want to close a school that would be able to do and provide all of those things? But it's like, you're going to do all of that for a bunch of black kids in Germantown? Hell no. But we are saying, hell yes. And the fight is not over. This building belongs to the community, and our children's responsibility and their futures do as well. We have more that we want to talk to you about. They told you we have 13 demands. We want you to hear those demands. Are you going to hear the demands with us? We also have more events that are coming up, and we want you to hear about these other additional events that are coming up, because as our comrade said, we are not going to win unless we show up for the fight. As a plan that put together, it was not going to work without the crowd and the community showing up. We cannot start slowing down now. We have to continue to apply the pressure. We have to apply the pressure for all of our important fights. So we want to let you know all of the things that are going on, because all of these fights are connected. So we want you to follow us to the park. All right, y'all. Y'all ready to move? No, are y'all ready to move? All right, so we're going to start mobilizing, because we've told the history, so now it's time to act, right? All right, so we're going to ask anybody with a banner to come to the front, please.
All right, y'all ready to take the streets? Ready to take the streets? Just a reminder, when we are in the streets, we're taking the whole street. Whole streets off the sidewalk into the streets. You don't owe the police or civil affairs an explanation. We are moving on our own accord. Just to let them know, let y'all know. We good? We cool? We good to move? Whose street? Our street. 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 When Germantown is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When Germantown is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When Germantown is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When Germantown is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When black students are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When black students are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When black students are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When black students are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back.
violence. The 14th District Police Station has committed generations of atrocities of the black community in Germantown. A report came out that stated that the 14th District was... So we're going to have people come up and speak to us about this issue of police violence. Because when we want to talk about things like the disinvestment in education, we want to talk about things like the school-to-prison pipeline. We want to be having way too much money, and also the issue of police violence. Yeah. So we're going to bring up Brother Kamal from Philly Real Justice.
Right.
All right, Kamal.
And he's going to talk to us about this issue.
Let's go.
Fist up!
Fight back!
Fist up!
Fight back!
Fist up!
Fight back!
Fist up!
Fight back!
When we talk about fighting back, we have to remember, especially in Germantown, my folks are from Germantown. I spent a lot of time in Germantown, and we see how gentrification affects Germantown. And some of those early stages of gentrification are the police running down on people in the neighborhood. You see a heavy police presence, you see it grow, you see the results of that's tied together, that capitalism and gentrification are tied to our oppression.
Yeah.
We know that the stakes are high here in Germantown for these houses as they search for more and more space. And as they search for that space, the bodies that they put in jail, the people that they pull off the street, the people that they pull out of their houses, the folks that get organized against by newly acquired homeowners in Germantown, or the poor black people who've been here the longest, right? Just like we saw Germantown High go, we see other spots and other places where black people congregate go. Uncle Bobby's has been under attack recently, right?
That's right.
That's not by accident. That's not just some random thing that happened, right? Folks thought, well, maybe like just somebody is angry or something, broke a window, so you come back and break it like the next day too. We come back and smash it the next day too. No, that's an attack. Because as we grow, right, as people mentioned earlier, as this movement grows, as we push and we pressure the system responds. The people respond, right? And we know that anyone who hasn't declared that they're not part of that system, they still going to enforce it. They still going to enforce it. They're going to side with the pigs. And so, to quote Fred Hampton, right, one of my folks' favorite revolutionary leaders, we have to say that to ourselves all the time, right? I am a revolutionary. I am not the pig. I am not the pig. And you have to say that because you have to defy, you have to let them know that you're not on their side, right? We don't talk to pigs. We don't talk to pigs not because we don't see their humanity as people or we don't understand they can be human. We don't talk to pigs because they're part of a system. And no matter what or how nice they act to you, no matter what they did that makes you feel like, oh, they're all right people, they're still going to uphold that system. When they come and beat that little boy down and hold him on the ground, when they put their knee on someone's neck, right? No good cop going to come stop them. None of them people going to come interrupt that, right? And so that'll continue to happen until we make sure that they no longer are able to do that. Until we make sure they no longer exist. Until we come together as a community and we take care of our own problems and we don't have to worry about them. So that's why we're out here now. We will keep pushing for that, right? This district, I believe it was a brother they killed not too long ago, a couple years ago. I can't remember his name at the moment. I wanted the Dennis. Was it Jones? Did they kill David? No. Either way, right? Either way, we know the police as a group kill us. We know the police as a whole, as an institution, kill us. And so we're working to make sure they no longer exist. I appreciate everyone coming out here today. I hope we can get more people out here. I hope we can keep pushing against this system until it's no longer here. Until the only thing here is people in a free Philadelphia. Philadelphia has a history, Megan said her people have been here since the 1700s. Philadelphia has a history of being free for black people, right? It has a history of oppressing us, but our oppression is based on us fighting for freedom. We have to continue to declare that and anyone that's
all right, y'all. I'm not gonna keep it so long. We're gonna keep it moving. Just want to say I'm not from Germantown. I'm from West, but all of the symbols, all of the signatures of displacement and state violence exist here. And this is not Philadelphia specific. You can any black community that you come from, all over the states, got the same signs that they about to move black people out and establish a historical black city. As a new sort of white yuppie town. You know, when they rename, you know, when you call your city something, you know, or people in your neighborhood call it something, and then out of nowhere, they changing the name to Temple Town. Yes. Right? University City. What the hell is a university city? Right? So these symbols sort of exist everywhere you go across the country. You got a police budget that is stuffed literally right next to a school that they claim they didn't have enough money for it. Right. I'm going to just bring this up and now I'm going to keep moving. One of the issues that we have in our advocacy very often is we keep thinking about how can we raise money. The elders that were just speaking were talking about how their school had thinking about implementing all these facilities the school could fund so it wouldn't have to keep their resources. Kids in school, they didn't raise money. So we need to be clear about our advocacy. Yeah. We don't need to fundraise. Germantown High didn't have to get PNC Bank and this and that to get the school to stay open. The state should have kept the school open because that's what the people in the community deserve. It ain't the fun. And every time they try to change the narrative and try to switch your advocacy, you can't tell me you don't got no money and you just bought the National Guard in, and the police and the army are changing military. They got new ARs, new automatic weapons, new cars, new bikes, but you don't got enough money for schools. That's bullshit. Or even that revolution. This is like very regular. You have. This is simple. Yeah. So next time, whatever elected officials that you be around, I don't got the time to go through them, but the entire black misleadership specifically, we know that the white politicians put the resources in our communities because we deserve it. It ain't no ultimatums, it ain't no Alright, y'all, so we're gonna keep it moving. I know y'all hot, I'm hot as hell. We moving this way.
Get some water, please. Get some water.
Get some water if you need it. Speak to somebody if you having an issue walking.
We're not going to talk, we're going to share the man. We're not doing it here because it's hot. We got trees in the park. So join us over. Come on, we only got half a block to go. Going to the park and then we're going to talk about the demand, how we can pull together.
When Germantown is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When Germantown is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When black students are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When black students are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When Philadelphia is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When Philadelphia is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When Germantown is under attack, what do we do?
Stand